What can you work on if you have mastered the pull-ups? It will definitely be high pull-ups. This will help you to unlock advanced calisthenics skills like the muscle up. Once you are able to pull the bar below your chest level, you will realize you are able to do the muscle up easily. This video, I will teach you how to do a high pull-ups.
In with the queen, I'm the alpha, the omega, everything in between.
Ride with the mob, to Allah, check you and me, in with your job.
What's going on, guys? This is Xavier here from Focus Athletes. Today we'll be talking about the high pull-ups. It's also called the explosive pull-ups. So we can see on this graph here, this is also called the 5 godly calisthenics skills that people who train calisthenics want to master this signature move one day. So we can start from this muscle up, then go to one arm pull-up, front or back lever. They also want to master the human flag and definitely the planche. So on this bottom, you can see this handstand, right? I'm not sure why they don't deem this as one of the godly calisthenics skills, because maybe this is to them or to people who train it, they think it's an entry level. So this handstand will place under this graph here. Okay, when we train calisthenics, right, after we master the normal pull-up, we definitely go through this transition from the normal pull-up to this muscle up. And this between, right, is called the high pull-ups. Instead of pulling below our chin level, right, we now want to pull below our chest level, or even go beneath that, which is to our waist level. So once we reach there, right, we are able to actually transit to this muscle up easily. There are also a few advantages of training these explosive pull-ups. First of all, it helps us to increase in power, which teaches our muscle to generate force quickly, which improve better muscle recruitment for fast twitch muscle fibers, which are responsible for quick, powerful bursts of strength. This leads to better overall muscle activation and growth. Secondly, it enhances our grip strength. Explosive pull-ups challenge your grip more than the regular pull-ups, improving the forearm and grip strength, which is essential for many other exercises. Thirdly, which is improve our functional strength. Explosive pull-up mimic the real-world movement where speed and strength are required together, like climbing or quickly pulling your body over obstacles. In order to do a high pull-ups, right, we need to understand that what is the bad form of a high pull-ups, and why does this form not causes us to help us to actually pull below our chest level. In order to do a high pull-ups, right, we need to understand that this concept from pulling us upwards compared to a normal pull-up, and for a high pull-up eventually leads to a muscle up is totally different. For a normal regular pull-up, right, we actually move from an angle from the bottom to the top. It's like a straight line. However, for these high pull-ups, if you want to go above the bar, right, we need to imagine ourselves to move like a C shape so that we can actually go above the bar. This C-shape movement is actually making use of the energy transfer from our toes to the quads, to the glutes, to the core, to the scapula, to the shoulder, to the forearm, and to the grip. You also have to imagine yourself are doing like a lats pull down in a C shape instead of like a horizontal pull down up and down, because if you are doing up and down, right, you're going to restrict only below your chin level, so you're not going anywhere below your chest level or even further than that. One of the important key points is to also change the grip. We need to notice that we need to change from a regular grip to an overhand grip. So what is the difference? So this regular grip, right, from the bar you'll go to the knuckles, then this knuckles is actually facing us. So if you, let's say you are doing this, right, you cannot actually pull higher. We need to change from these knuckles, right, to actually go above this bar. So from this bar to the knuckles, then this knuckles is actually pointing the sky. So you actually make the transition to move yourself upwards is a lot easier. Okay, now we take a look at what are the bad form of a high pull-ups. So let's say you see in this video, right, the knuckles placement is actually wrong. So in this knuckles placement is actually a regular grip, which is the pull to the knuckles, and then the knuckles is actually pointing us. It's not actually pointing to the sky. So to the sky means that these knuckles must be placed above the bar. So no matter how much I try to pull myself upwards, right, even though I have like tremendous strength, right, I just cannot do it because the angle is going to restrict us. Okay, then secondly is the scapula is loose. It's not helping us to actually gain more strength and the energy transfer. So the legs is actually cross. So let's say we study about aerodynamics, right? So we need to think ourselves like a rocket to actually propel ourselves upwards. So these legs cross, right, is not going to help us as well. So every time we want to train for something that is new, like such as these high pull-ups, right, we try to check our forms. So make sure that every time we train, make sure our grip is actually correct, which is using the overhand grip. So if let's say you think that your grip is actually very slippery, you can try to use a liquid chalk or a chalk to help you to maintain this overhand grip. Then secondly, you can actually check your forms by using recording to yourself, that make sure that the body part is actually not very sloppy. Like, did you engage your scapula, your lats all the way down to your glutes or to your feet? Did you do a lot of keeping? So we try to avoid that if let's say we want to do a clean movement later. I've learned from this a lot, right? If let's say you does not aware that you are actually doing a bad form, so let's say after 2 or 3 months you thought that you are able to do high pull-ups, you are actually able to do higher, pull higher, then one day you decided to record, you realize that your form is kind of shit. So it's best that since the start, right, you try to notice that whether you are doing a correct way or not. So this will help you to save a lot of time later. Okay, to improve your high pull-ups, right, a few exercises actually help me a lot, such as like using a resistance band. So if let's say you're not pulling high enough, you can start using like a medium band first, then try to pull higher reps and higher reps, then start to move to lighter bands. So in these high pull-ups, right, we can just use between the 3 rep range to actually 6 reps, then do about 3 to 4 sets is good enough, because you're still doing other form of pulling movement, not only this. Then secondly, you can use the weighted pull-ups method. You can either wear a weight vest or either wear a belt that can help you to load up the weight to increase your pull-up intensity. So when you do enough weighted pull-ups, right, you'll realize that your body become lighter like a feather, so you can actually boom, pull yourself higher. Okay, lastly, I want to point out that how come if let's say some people are actually not improving fast enough, perhaps because your training frequency is too little. If let's say you realize that you only have 1 pull session per week, right, it's actually not enough. So me myself, I actually have like 2 sessions per week. This is what I learned from others as well. So if you want to improve yourself faster, right, you cannot have too little frequencies of training. You need to have like 2 to 3, but myself, I find 2 is a sweet spot. So secondly, if let's say you have to know your weakness, so if let's say sometimes you are able to pull yourself upwards, but your forearms or your grip is actually giving up too early, means that your grip is not strong enough. You can actually do some dead hangs on the bar or use some barbells to actually strengthen up your wrist itself, because some of the weak points will actually give in earlier than the actual move. Okay, I hope this video actually gives you some insightful of the high pull-ups, like what you can do also to after you actually master the pull-ups. Let me know if you have any other question in the comment section below. I'll talk to you in the next video.